We're about to go to the Tesla store. Last time we went, they were not so friendly to us, and frankly, we weren't that impressed. So we're hoping to get blown away right now.
We're going take two.
Take two. What up, HyperChange? We're here in Shanghai, Taikoo Hui. We're right outside the Tesla store here. So wanted to give an update about Tesla in China. China is their second largest market outside of North America. The company just posted, as of their 10K, about 1.8 billion in revenue in 2018, which was down slightly from 2 billion. But overall, this is an incredibly big and exciting piece of Tesla's business, because China, in the past couple years, has not only become the world's largest automotive market, but even much more exciting than that, is by far the world's largest EV market. And the government is pushing incredibly hard to electrify its entire infrastructure. I mean, we're seeing the license plates of electric vehicles are green versus blue for ICE cars. You know, talking to locals, it sounds like electric vehicles are exempt from registering their cars. You know, there's not much traffic in Shanghai, given how big of a metropolis it is, and it's because they do an incredibly good job of controlling the supply of cars. And so you have to pay a huge, it sounds like 100,000 yuan fee, which is like 13 or 15,000 US dollars just to register a license plate in Shanghai. But if you're an electric vehicle, that fee is waived. So we see a clear push in China, you know, from everything we've seen, to go green and go electric, and they're helping Tesla. And that is the reason that Tesla has been able to secure the first wholly owned automotive factory in China, in Shanghai, which they're starting construction of, and they're setting to start delivering cars from there later this year, which is incredible. And so this is a huge deal, because up until now, every US or foreign automakers had to partner with a joint venture with a Chinese company to enter the market, but now Tesla's breaking that mold, and they have a wholly owned factory here just about an hour or two outside of Shanghai. So this is super, super impressive. And you know, thinking about Tesla and its place in the market, you know, we went to the Byton store, we've gone to the Neo store. You know, these are almost carbon copies of Tesla's business model. They're all in the same mall that are trying to replicate what Tesla's success and playbook has been, because there's something about Tesla that has captured the mind of Chinese consumers. And I think this is the biggest takeaway for Tesla. Yes, for now their cars are drastically more expensive, almost twice the price of a Byton or Neo, because of import taxes and tariffs, and the fact that they're actually trying to make money on these vehicles. But I think part of that leads up to Tesla being a status symbol. It is a luxury brand here in China. It is viewed as very cool and premium. And you know, I think part of the culture, from talking to the locals, seems to be like there's this desire to, you know, you want to have the nice brand. Oh, there's a Neo right there. You want to have like the, see with the green license plate? You know, but so Tesla, there was this chart in Neo's IPO prospectus which shows where the Tesla Model X is. It's incredibly expensive, but it's viewed as the most luxury status symbol of an electric vehicle. So, you know, Chinese people like these Western foreign brands and sort of gravitate towards them. I mean, we're seeing Rolex stores, Cartier stores, Burberry, everything is everywhere. And Tesla is sort of finding its niche as a luxury brand here in China. I think that's its biggest advantage. That's what it has huge potential. They're starting to deliver the Model 3 by the end of this month here in China. It's It sounds like there is a huge pent-up demand for this vehicle. We're in the store. It looks like people are test driving, getting in, getting around. But frankly, I think my 2 cents on this coming to China, I'm actually a little bit, I'm still incredibly excited about the opportunity and the potential for Tesla in China and just how big of a market this is. But seeing these competitors like NIO and Byton copy the playbook and come in such undercutting Tesla on price with vehicles that almost seem on par in quality or maybe even slightly better in some ways is just frightening. And like Julian was saying in another video, like the commoditization of the EV is it something that we're noticing in here. And Julian actually made this fascinating analogy. What is another commoditized consumer electronic product? What is the profit share of that market? Let's use the smartphone analogy. I've said Tesla's the Apple of the automotive world. The smartphone, I would argue, has become fairly commoditized in the modern realm, but Apple is still able to pump out billions per year in capital. And so ideally, that's the way we see this playing out. Tesla's that premium luxury brand, and although maybe they won't get the entire market, they'll be able to capture the lion's share of the profits because based on their brand and the overall package. And so I hope that's how it plays out, but I will say I'm less confident in that before just because I've been blown away with the quality of the other vehicles. But we're here in China, and I think this is going to be an incredibly exciting moment for Tesla. They are planning to pump out hundreds of thousands of cars at this Chinese factory. I mean, that could be tens of billions in revenue alone just from China. They only did about 1.7 billion this year. I mean, China's going to be selling millions and millions of electric vehicles per year throughout the 2020s. And so if Tesla, they only need to get a piece of that to become a huge business in China. So I think, we're at the forefront of the EV movement here. And it's just fascinating to watch this all unfold.
What up? I think Gally just hit on some really great points. So I'll do some of the negative things, reiterate them. Still not very impressed with just like the presentation. Like when you compare it to the NIO store, the NIO house, or the Byton store, like I think they were just nicer. Like they're offering you coffee. There's a clear area to buy the merchandise. I will say Sunday morning here at Tesla store seems to be fairly packed. Saw a family potentially buying one of the vehicles. Looked like it was like $1 million yuan, so probably one of the higher end models. But we saw a couple Model 3s here. It looked like they just been through a lot to get here. They're kind of dirty, and they're the test drive vehicles. Presuming they're fairly new, the rear tail light was already out on one of them that they were just taking for a drive. I don't know, just like these little attention to detail things that I wish Tesla could be better at, like all around the company, right? I think that translates into some of the things like customer service and like these littler aspects that if they focused on could make their product that much better and their consumer experience that much better.
So what do you think about Tesla in China? Is this a big opportunity?
I mean, I think it's a big opportunity. I'll reiterate kind of what you said, just in terms of talking to locals. I think the Chinese population, like something like status symbol is foreign brands. So Tesla has a lot of room to play with that. And, as long as they can execute and hopefully get over this kind of the import tariff that makes their cars that much more expensive by opening up the Shanghai factory, I think that's going to be a huge step forward for them to actually be able to grasp a larger market share and sell, tens of thousands or 100,000 vehicles a year.
There you have it. There's our thoughts on Tesla in China. Frankly, more questions than answers. When's the Shanghai factory going to come online? Is this going to drastically reduce the import tariffs? What will that do to the perception of Tesla as a luxury brand? Are Chinese consumers going to, for the first time, appreciate domestic brands like NIO and Byton over Tesla because they're so much cheaper with potentially more features? I think is China going to be selling millions of the year? Is there enough room for Byton and NIO and Tesla to win? I think there's, I'm less certain in Tesla's future in China, frankly, but I'm also more confident in the future of EVs in China and the fact that there's so much HyperChange and disruption occurring here. I think there's a huge land grab of opportunity in this EV transport space in China, and we're just at the cusp of it, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. But my gut instinct says Tesla will win in China, NIO will win in China, Byton will win in China, and this is going to be a 10 billion plus business for Tesla in the near term, and I think they'll remain as sort of a premium luxury status symbol here in the country, just like Apple has done.
Yeah, and I think just to add on to that, like EVs will win in China. Like just simply put.
That's our biggest takeaway is EVs are happening. It is an inevitability.
Yeah, so it's fairly impressive, I think, just how fast like the government has been able to just like flip the switch and
yeah,
turn into being a place that really supports like green initiatives.
Yeah, like the U.S. is moving at a snail's pace in terms of infrastructure and hyperchange in the transport market
NIO
relative
and
to
Tesla.
this. Oh, look at this. NIO and Tesla right next to each other. Ooh, the NIO's going to the NIO store. All right, we're actually about to go to the NIO store. Anyway, signing off on another video here in Shanghai. G Phil G and J Phil G. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.